This is from the guys that we killed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, put the tavern right away. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It was. Can I like use persuasion,
Deception.
or deception?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You roll insight.
Insight? Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta pull up my character sheet.
Ooh.
Come on, where is it? I got a 7.
I got a 9.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, Savett believes you.
That's so close.
There's a lot of men who carry these weapons, but forgive my dropping of your beautiful sword, but I cannot accept this.
Do I realize that he looked at it? Or,
Yeah.
Or like at the...
Mm-hmm.
I go, is there... Does this have any meaning?
It is for the Blood Coven.
Blood Coven?
The Blood Coven.
Blood Coven?
Mm-hmm.
And what is Blood Coven?
The Blood Coven, it is a group of men. Man, I should say. It is a crusader group that is against magical creatures and impure blood. And they scavenge the world and they hunt magical creatures. They try to kill them. They just have a very bad past with them.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
It is okay. Savett is a very patient man.
I just wrote in my notes genociders. Because that's basically what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, then I'm just gonna tuck my short sword back.
He turns around and kind of goes back to the pile, and he's kind of looking through it. And as like you guys notice, like on his shoulder, there's like a branding of like that blood drop on his shoulder.
I know we just met and all of that, but is there a reasoning behind your mark?
He like reaches his paw back and like holds it, and he kind of closes his eyes and he stares quietly at the ground for a little bit, and then he just like you can see like his ears kind of go back and they're like kind of like in a very disturbed position, and he just looks really sad, and he's like, well, I guess there's no harm in sharing my story. We're stuck in this room anyway. So when Savett was
You see Abar just going like, right? Just like a code.
yeah. Like, is it a puzzle? But yeah, so and Savett just kind of says, when I was a wee kid, I was dropped at the monastery to train for many years. My whole life I never met my parents even. But well, not that I can remember. I was, like I said, a very young kid. And they dropped me there for safety because they were being hunted by the Blood Coven. Everyone in my clan was killed. They were all slaughtered by the Blood Coven. But before they could do that, they were making sure that some of us lived as a remembrance of what they've done and why magical creatures are lesser. So they branded us to always be remembered as victims of the Blood Coven.
So that's why you wanted been sent.
I've been recruiting powerful magical creatures to fight back against these Blood Coven.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I have spent many days praying in the distance. I've overcome most of the pain.
Okay, well,
Well, thanks for reminding me of that beautiful time.
I'm sorry. Here's a happy song.
No, I think he like kind of puts his paw on your cords. He's like, you know what could make it up to me? And he like smiles, a big like shitty grin. He's like,
No.
oh.
No, sorry. Hey, Mark, get the door. Here, I'll make it up.
I was like, take a coin and try to put it through the door like a penny machine.
You just hear it like fall, and it sounds like it hits a pile of gold.
Hey, Mark, calm down.
Can I look around and see if there's another exit around here?
Go ahead, yeah.
Perception?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's. So I'll tell you this. There's nothing obviously like an exit. So like you can investigate, but I mean like there isn't anything in the room. There's just the door behind you that you came in, and the door that's in front of you.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go away awkwardly from Savett because I feel embarrassed, and now I'm gonna go up to the door, and I want to investigate the door.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I have very bad rolls today. 8.
Okay. So you notice the crack as well, or the sliver splinter that was missing that Abar had noticed, and like you can peek in and you can see a little bit better just because like the height difference and everything. So you can see a different angle into the room, and you do see like piles of gold in the next room, like piles of gems and gold and bounty and.
Okay.
And you can kind of see as well that there's like 2 knight statues on the other end of the room.
Abar, you can't push the door open because there's gold on the other side.
Is that what it is? Oh, is that right? Oh.
That's what I'm assuming. Is it like right? Can I see that?
You can't see you can't see the floor in front of the door, but you can see like into the room.
I can see that it's like around.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think there's a like gold on the other side.
Push harder. Just like put my shoulder into it.
Savett, you want to give us a hand over here?
Savett has paws.
Yes. Abar has hooves for feet, or not feet, but yes. Okay. You want to give us a paw then?
Oh, sure, I can try my very best. So he's like kind of standing next to you.
He's like, use the dad joke. Yes.
He's like, my father at the monastery is very funny. He teach me a lot of jokes. But he has like one hand he has one paw on the door, and he's kind of like scratching it and like pushing on it. And like the other side, yeah. So he's kind of like standing like if you're facing the door because you see where he is, and he's kind of standing like perpendicular to you, and like just has one hand, he's just staring at you.
Okay, can you help us
Figure out how to open it.
I want you to roll for your passive perception.
Passive perception is just there. So.
Or I mean, yeah, okay. So what is your passive perception?
My passive perception.
I just need Brandon's.
Mine's 13.
Yours is 13. I mean, you can. What's yours?
9.
9. Okay.
So passive perception is just like you're not looking for anything. It's just something happened. Like passive perception is like, oh, I heard the car honk its horn. Like, you heard that.
Yeah.
Well, a guard is always looking for the.
Yeah, they're always on active.
What did you say yours was?
13.
And so I sorry. What would I roll?
You try to be like sneaky.
Stealth. How come it doesn't come up on my thing? Wait.
Skill, not a.
Skill. Yeah, that was the wrong thing. So stealth.
Dexterity.
Or sleight of hand, wouldn't it?
I mean,
Yeah. Well, it depends what he's doing. Yeah. So sleight of hand.
Moving, but or like.
Okay, so it's. I'm sorry, Brandon. So Savett was trying to distract you with clawing the door and everything, and like talking to you and acting stupid, and he like was trying to get the ring out of your pocket. So.
I figured.
And it succeeded. So he grabs it, and he's like trying to like you notice him now, like but you didn't feel him grab it. So he's like he's scratching the door and he's like it's not working, and he walks away and he's like you just see him huddled in the corner.
Hey, Savett, what are you doing?
Nothing.
No, come here. Come here.
He kind of yes.
Savett, what do you have?
Goods.
I'm gonna feel like in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Savett, give me the ring. Give me the ring.
Tries to put it on.
No. I'm gonna grab his.
It's like stuck on his like pad because it doesn't move past his pad. He's like, oh.
Give me the ring.
He's like, but then like when it ran around his finger, he also heard the whisper that was like call the ravens, and he was like, okay. I'm so sorry.
Is he phased by it? Is he phased by the call of the ravens?
I mean, he's thinking about it, and then he,
like could I see on his?
Yeah,
face?
when he did this, his eyes were like, when his ears went like straight back, and like his fur kind of stood up, and he was like, okay.
Next time you don't tell Brandon. I mean, wait. Just like
What?
Just be like, Savett pushed on the door.
Yeah.
And then just walk in the corner. and You see him huddling in the corner.
Yeah.
You don't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
That'd be way better. Next time we'll give you.
But he's shiny.
Yeah.
We'll give you our.
No, shut up. He's shiny. Shut up. Okay, keep moving. He's like shiny thing.
Yeah.
I know.
Keep moving.
Not tell you is what I'm saying. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so that you have to like, Savett, what are you doing? He's like, no, and then you find out. Yeah, I agree. But anyway, so now he's like, he kind of decides to mention. He's like, when you asked if there was a draft, were you talking about the whispers?
Yes.
Okay, so you be honest, okay?
Yes.
That's coming from me.
Yeah, considering you just tried to steal the ring from me. Yes.
I would have given it back. I just wanted to see it.
Yes, I heard the whispers.
Okay.
Call the ravens. I don't know what that means.
What are you guys talking about?
This ring fits perfectly on my finger, and when I put it on,
I look at
And
his
when-
hand, it's like my pinky barely.
Yeah.
and when I put it on, I heard a whisper, "Call the ravens." When he put it on, he heard the whisper, "Call the ravens." I
What
don't
did
know
you
what that
call
means.
them?
Do you want me to try this?
Try to say, I cannot remember the word from my past. In the monastery, we have lots of words for different things. In my culture, we have lots of languages for different things too. As you probably know, there are multiple languages. He starts to kind of like ramble about like.
Okay, get to the point.
Oh.
Like, as much fun as this is, Savett, I like talking to you, but can
Okay.
you continue on?
Try to say, raven.
Just raven.
Or maybe try different languages. I don't
Okay.
know. Call it.
Okay, so put it on. So first off, I just go, ravens. Okay, I know a few different languages.
Probably no.
I know two.
Elvish,
I
right?
know Elvish. I get it. Proficiency languages. And orc. I chose that. Nice.
Mhm.
So,
What I chose.
in Elvish, I go ravens. I don't know the.
Make it up.
I don't know what it is. I might actually
Okay.
look up that.
Okay. So when you do so, a black shroud, kind of like of feathers, like kind of like come out from under like your clothing and your apparel, and like you're just being like immersed in feathers, and the room is getting dark, and everything is growing around you. Meanwhile, Savett and Abar are looking at you, and you're just shrinking and being covered in feathers. There's just, and then like by the time this transformation is over, there's just a pile of feathers, like just black feathers. Your clothes are sitting on the ground, and then this like the pile's kind of moving. Yeah. Savett kind
Assuming
of.
I'm a raven now.
Yeah. Savett picks up your shirt, and you're just like. Yeah. You can, and everything is normal. Like you can speak, you can do everything.
You can speak.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give you the
Kill it!
Ring of the Raven.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
So you can choose to share it or not.
Okay.
Dope as shit.
Nice.
It's so in the door. There's no holes. It's just a crack.
Yep, just the crack. And then there is the crack in the where Dewey kept coming in and out of too.
Okay.
Can you fly?
I don't know. I'm a raven. I'm assuming I can't. It's my first time. You gotta give me a
I want to pick him up and just make him like this.
I catch myself and it's flying. Like,
Actually, I can't remind myself. Yeah. So like now you're able to fly and it's comfortable for you.
Okay. Like, oh, hey, this is kind of nice.
Savett is just kind of looking at you. His mouth is watering a little bit.
I see that. Don't get any ideas.
Savett did not have ideas.
Don't get any ideas.
I have not eaten.
Okay.
I go to that. Like, I hear they taste like chicken.
He's like,
Shut up.
he's like, you love chicken.
Hey, you two.
He kind of smacks your belly. He's like, you don't have to like chicken.
I'm just like, you two focus.
Okay.
You have to fly.
I'm gonna let back down. I'm gonna look around again and I'm like, I've got an idea. I'm gonna fly up to the crack that. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so you fly up to the crack we're doing into, and it's open enough for you to like kind of like duck your head and like waddle through
Okay,
on your
I'm
little
walking.
raven legs. Yeah.
I'm gonna look inside and I'm gonna look around the room on the other side.
And so you see everything that you imagined it was going to be. There's piles of gold everywhere. There's armor on the other side, just 2 suits of armor sitting side by side on the next door.
So like at the door across the room. Okay.
Yep. So, but then but you also see like the door is barricaded with just some like large wooden
Things.
boards. So like it's just like the big lumber pieces. I guess I'm trying to think of the word, like logs basically, like holding the door. But they look like you could remove them. They don't look super heavy.
Okay.
So.
Hey. Do you hey Bar? I'm gonna like go back. Hey Bar. Do you want to ram through the door?
Can I run through the door? Is it? Sorry, I was not. What was on the? Sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely try. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it looks like you can just lift up these things, like the pieces of wood on the other side. So maybe you could bust through.
Why don't you just lift them up and change back?
I don't know how.
So are you forever a raven?
I don't know.
Have you tried turning back?
I'm like, well, let's. I'm gonna say ravens and elvish again.
Yeah, okay. So then, are you still in the crack, or are you flying on the other side?
I was like, okay, maybe I should rethink where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, good idea. So like, I go back on the other side, and I land on one of the floor next to the things, and I'm gonna say it right there.
Okay, so then you transform back into a human form.
Okay.
The feathers kind of like explode off of your chest. You're kind of like a naked bird for a second, and then like as like your arms start to like contort and bones are like moving. It doesn't hurt though.
Okay.
It's just like weird.
Okay.
And so like it's like a dream sequence almost. It doesn't feel real. And like also before you know it, like you're full size, looking down, and everything seems to be back to normal, but you are naked.
Okay. And I take off the ring I'm holding in my hand. Okay. When I open this, don't look.
Super subconscious.
Don't look.
You look up at the crack in the door, and Savett is like looking through.
It's like both of us. They're cool.
So like I shuffle around. And
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And I like
Start to take them off. Okay.
Yeah.
So once you do so, the door is able to move freely, so you guys can open it if you want to.
And I'm gonna like cover behind the door. Okay, I need you to face that way. I'm gonna scoot in and then like put clothes on and come back.
So is everyone entering the room then?
Yes.
Okay. Congratulations on completing the first room.
Oh god.
It went better than I thought it was going to. Well, that one was like so dangerous because the disintegration.
Yeah.
So like if you would have been like, I'm running around the corner, I'm like, oh god.
When do you guys want to do lunch?
Huh?
When do you guys want to do lunch?
We could do an intermission now because you guys have done 2 maps and then there's technically 2 maps left.
Oh, sure.
So.
All right, we're gonna go on lunch break real quick, and then we'll come back within a set time. We haven't decided yet, so we will see you in a bit. Bye. And we're back. It's a map.
Oh, you wanted to see it?
It's a map. It's Cody. It's a map. It's Cody.
What is it? Okay. So we can open back up into the little game here. So some music. So as you guys enter the next room, Phil, completely naked.
No, I ran back and put everything
Oh,
back.
you did? Okay, my bad. Yeah.
I ran out, put everything back on.
Accept who you are.
Yeah.
You can put that as like not a.
Oh yeah, let me write that down.
No, what is it?
It is completely naked.
like Abar's super gullible. It's like he's very body shy.
Is completely naked.
I don't know. You lose your stuff from that. Okay, that's gonna be like an issue. That they're like, all right, don't do that in battle.
Well, I can, because technically
You can fight.
I have it for 2 turns. I could fight. So like, if it's quick, I could like.
We might have to adjust that. It might be because 2 turns is kind of in battle. It's pretty quick, or pretty long, but in real life it's not very long.
I guess we'll have to level up the range.
Well,
Just
I mean-
level up the range.
All right, we in this
Well, I could see you could easily like meet like some sort of alchemist or enchantment
Yeah.
person. So, kind of like on the ground is just Dewey, kind of looking at you guys and squeaking, and he's kind of like jumping up and down like this. He's like, "You made it!"
Thanks for the help. Dude.
Yeah. So he's kind of been cheering you guys on. So he's just kind of like runs and like goes behind Abar and is just kind of like standing behind you guys. Yeah, peeking around your legs. Just waiting to see what you guys do next. So,
Okay.
But before you see this room, same size room as before, piles of gold laying around the room. 2 sets of old armor are posted on the opposing side of the room. Hold on. Okay, so. Okay, so and so yeah, the smell in the room it's like completely different than the room before. It's like new. It's like this room has never been touched. The walls are in perfect shape. The ground doesn't seem like distorted at all. There's no moss like there was in the room before. There's banners on the wall that have like a giant like monogram. It's just like Edmund, so it's like just a big E.
Yeah.
And the room is just very gorgeous and it's really well laid out. The only thing messy is the piles of gold. And as you can see, there are like gems and stuff in it too.
Well, I think we should continue on.
I go look. How tall is House Gold? It's like enormous.
They vary in size, as you can see. But yeah, they're probably like a couple feet off, like 2 feet off the ground.
So it's not like you can hide behind the gold.
Correct. It's not like the rubble in the room before.
Gotcha.
Like the biggest pile is probably like 2 feet tall.
Okay.
But they're wide, as you can see, because each square I think is 5 feet. So
Okay.
you can see Jordan's eyes. He's like, gold.
Wait, I want to pick up my gold that piece on the other side of the door.
Oh yeah, because he dropped one. Yeah. Okay.
Yay.
Yeah. Roll. No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh,
Roll the
yeah, one, you pick it up and you break your finger.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gold.
Yeah, yes it is, Abar. Yes, it is.
Do you think you'd mind if I had some?
I don't think we should be touching.
We turn back and Savett's just like pocketing.
Yeah.
Just like dumping in his
Yeah,
clothes.
Savett right now, his eyes are just like huge. His ears are like straight back. Like you think of like Puss in Boots, but his eyes are just like woo. And he's just like sitting there like with his mouth like dropped. He's just like staring all over the room. He's like, whoa.
Hey, you two, remember what we're here for.
Gold.
No, Edmund.
Ed is here for power. This was my best guess.
We're here for Edmund.
Edmund, that's the guy. Okay.
I thought you would forget.
Yeah.
How long are we here? I have no idea. 3 weeks!
I have no idea how long I've been here.
I want Abar will walk forward, super tempted by the gold.
You guys are gonna walk forward.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I guess
just wanna walk.
Yeah, go ahead.
kind of like
You
walk.
can move everyone forward. Savett will go with you guys as he just kind of like gently steps past the gold and is looking at it. And
We're all just kind of walking forward.
okay.
Just perusing,
Mhm.
you know.
Out of the corner of Savett's eye, he notices a very large ruby sticking out of one of the piles, and he like starts to reach for it. He's looking back at you guys.
Savett,
Yes.
Edmund
Goes back to Avar's like.
Admin.
Is Avar actually doing that? Is he picking up gold?
I want to pick up a piece and just
You wanna pick up a piece?
investigate it. Like, is this
Okay.
yeah, it's like just another piece. Like it doesn't believe like there's this much gold in one spot. Am I right? Just like investigating. This seems
Okay.
a lot.
So you're gonna pick a piece up, you said though?
Pick up.
Okay. So when you pick up the piece of gold, huh? Yeah, you got it. It begins to like shake in your hand.
The gold does?
It's shaking, and like you can kind of see like the ends of it are kind of like the end opposing where you picked up the piece. So like if you picked it up like that, yeah, the piece that's like facing on the other side starts to like open up, and you see like a tongue start to come out of the edge of the piece of gold. Yeah.
Hey, are you okay? Because I'll hear the like the the gold back onto the or whatever. You good?
Yeah.
What did you see? Are you seeing what's is the gold not good enough for you, or
let's just keep going.
And you look back over, and Savett is just holding the ruby.
He's probably just like, I found it.
He's like, is this Edmund? And it opens up, and he has to do a saving throw now. So,
Do we see it like opening up?
yeah. So like, and his saving throw succeeded. So it's opening up, and it opens up, and it starts to like, because where he picked it up, it's actually opening from where his hands are, and like they like teeth just like spew out the sides of the ruby, and a tongue like wraps around his hand. But he quickly just like uses his monk strength, he shatters the ruby with one hit.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
Oh.
So it just breaks, falls to the ground. There's like some black goo along with like the shards that are on the ground, and he's kind of like rubbing his paws and starts licking it. It's like the vet does not like this.
This isn't gold.
Yeah, maybe we should just stay away from the gold. Okay, so let's just keep going forward.
I grab another pieces to be sure.
Okay, do a saving throw.
What do you want me to save?
Do dexterity.
18.
18, okay, yeah, so you succeeded. So when you pick it up, the same thing happens, but this one it opens a little faster, and you start to kind of see like some other pieces in the pile start to rubble from like being disturbed. And so like this one, like, yeah, its mouth opens immediately, and its tongue is like agape, and there's drool hanging off the tongue, and it like reaches out for you, and you drop it just in time. And it hits the ground, and it's kind of like chomping, and like flopping on the ground and chomping, and using its tongue to like move itself and stuff like that, so.
That's fine.
Oh, you have guests. I heard a knock.
Is that what it was? Keep going.
I thought it was. I think it was just Artemis's.
Oh, maybe it was.
It was her collar.
Oh, my
I think
bad.
it's just Artemis.
It literally just sounded like.
Yeah,
It's like,
it was her collar.
Okay. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what happens.
Okay.
And like the piles aren't like moving, but like you can like hear like them shifting a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, let's get out of here before we have to deal with anything.
Yeah, keep going forward.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just keep
Are
going.
you guys like quickly moving now, or are you just like?
We're going a little bit faster, but not
Okay.
like we're not like I don't think we're not walking like we did, but we're like also not like running.
I
Yeah.
want to investigate these statues.
So as you guys approach the door, both statues they have pole arms, and they just kind of like move their arms. They're you can see like through the faceplate they don't have a face, so there's nothing in them, and they just like they both swing their axes sideways to make like an X in front of the door, like basically saying like you cannot pass.
Okay. Excuse us. Can we pass through?
Here, 1 second, sorry.
Can we pass through? Hello.
I want to knock on his head.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys are just gonna talk to them, or are you actually gonna hit it?
He talked first.
I'm talking to her.
Okay, so-
Hi, can we pass through?
There's just no response.
I want to tap it on the head. Like, oh.
When you tap it on the head, you see on like the arm of like the which one do you tap?
The right one.
This one. So you're up here. You tap it. When you tap it, you notice that like because it's not moving, but like where its hand is, you can kind of see the gauntlet. The gauntlet like the metal separates, and you just see like an eyeball, and it's like kind of shifting back and forth, and like you see like teeth kind of coming out of like the elbow part of the gauntlet.
I don't like it here.
And now it's like you can kind of hear it like growling a little bit too. It's like.
Did any response, Abar?
It looked at me.
Look at you.
It's got an eyeball. Look at it. And I like pointed out.
Savett at this point is like holding his staff, and he's like behind you guys, just like looking around.
Like just like.
So he's like back here.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna like keep my distance. Kinda like, oh, yeah,
You make direct eye contact with the eye, and it like stares back at you.
Okay. Hi there. Can we pass through?
It starts growling a little bit more, and you see like drool kind of dripping from the armor, and like a tongue kind of wraps around like the arm of the suit.
I take that as a no. I take that as a no.
Abar's amazing ideas. I want to take a gold coin and put it in the faceplate.
You put it in the faceplate.
Yeah, I put the whole time in the face.
Okay, so you do, and you just hear like ting 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 as it reaches the boots of the armor.
That didn't work.
And when you do that, the statue actually, like, I guess it's not a statue, it's just a suit of armor, but like grabs its axe and it swings at you. Yeah. So you're gonna have to do
Just roll for me.
huh?
Just roll for
Oh,
me.
roll for your AC, okay. It definitely did not succeed. It got a 3. You're agile enough to notice the movement of its body, and as it swings its axe around, you're able to just kind of like, I'll give you this. You grab like the base of the axe, so like the blade is like here, and you were able to like catch it before it hit you. But it's like shaking. It's apparently very strong.
Can Aaron try to rip it out of his hand?
Rip the axe out of his
Yeah.
hand? Yeah, you can go ahead and do this. Well, everyone should roll for initiative now, by the way.
Oh my goodness!
So, hold on, don't tell me yet because I'm not gonna hear it.
I got a.
Okay, go ahead.
20.
17.
Okay, so it was the same as before. So Jordan's first, Brandon's second, and then the statues are next.
Nice. Does Savett need to roll?
Huh?
Does Savett need to roll?
Oh, right.
And do we need to roll too?
So what did you get, Brandon, again? I'm
It
sorry.
is 17.
Okay, so, and then Savett is... So Savett's after Brandon.
I'm gonna rip the axe out of his hand after he swung at me. Or is the...
Okay. So, just do a strength check.
20.
Okay, so yeah, so you're able to rip the pole arm right out of his arms, and like the one of the gauntlets actually comes off of the suit of armor. So he's holding, he has just like the other gauntlet, and it's like reaching for you like vividly. It's like shaking, and you can see like the eye is like twitching and going back and forth.
That was my action. My bonus action. I just want to like throw it. Just like here
Go
for me.
behind you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Savett.
just like.
Okay, I'm gonna do a dexterity saving throw for Savett though. It's a 1.
Oh no! I hit the key man. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that it as you throw it backwards, it like acts forward, goes towards Savett, and it hits him for 1d4 damage. 3.
Oh my god! That hurt a lot.
Yeah. I actually have to pull up his stats. Savett. But he's fine. He's a little pissed, but he's fine.
He's just like.
Where is my health?
At you. Oh.
Where do I find my health in this thing?
On the app.
Yeah.
Top.
It should be at the very top.
Oh, blue button. Okay. Yep, my bad. Okay, so I can just keep track of that here.
Yeah. So click on
Okay.
plus or minus.
So 2 damage. Okay. He's fine, but he's just like, ah! He's like, you big cow! He's like, where did you train? Okay, so now it's Brandon's turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna take out my longsword. I'm gonna chop the other hand.
You're gonna hit the, where do you plan on hitting it?
Like in the eyeball.
In the eyeball?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you like swing your sword down, you can do a AC, or so yeah, like roll to hit.
Ooh, what is it's
Plus 6.
plus 6.
Plus 6?
6.
Yeah, it does not hit. So, when you do it, the eye kind of like shifts to the other side of like the gauntlet.
Okay.
So like it just moves, and like you hit like just the armor plate, and your sword kind of just like bounces off the armor.
Yeah, like any other armor.
Yeah.
either a bonus action or movement you can do.
I'm gonna probably just like I don't know if I'm gonna like back up a little bit. Just back up a little bit. I mean, so I'm like gonna do that, and then I'm gonna kind of just like
Step back. Yeah.
step back and
Okay.
kind of like study, get myself a little bit better.
Okay. And then now it's Savett's turn. So Savett is gonna lunge forward at the other set of armor and try and like do like a jab with his staff and try and like hit just like a weak point in the armor.
Oh, yeah.
So just to see if he can make the whole set like crumple. And where is it? Because I know I have proficiency bonus +2. Okay,
Should be a
so
deeper weapon in there, so it should be a weapon page.
Yeah.
yeah, it's on here. So all right, so he got a 15 and it hits. So he's gonna roll for damage, and I forget what the damage is. Where is the?
I forget I have bardic inspiration.
Yeah, there's you can click on those numbers and it'll sometimes roll for you too.
So do I go to equipment and then do the quarterstaff, right?
Yeah,
and then
make sure it's equipped.
it is,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, so you're going.
Well, 1d6 +4. Damn, that's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine's a D12.
Really?
Plus
Oh wow.
4.
Okay, so mine's a 1d6 +4, and I also can do a bonus melee attack.
Yeah.
So 1d6 +4. So I got 5. So that's 9. And then he's also going to do his unarmed attack, which I forget what that one is.
It's a D4, I think.
Okay.
Or you roll for it. Roll the D20.
You have to roll again?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so.
I thought it was just. Oh, yeah, because it's an extra attack.
Yeah, so another attack.
Okay, so I got a 8, 9, 10. So that one, his second attack fails, but he lunges forward and he hits for 9 damage, which ends up seriously maiming like the armor case, and you see like pieces of it are falling off. You can see that like the one arm that's like not the arm that's not holding the axe falls off to the ground. And the helmet kind of falls off as well, so it's kind of like a headless, one-armed like suit of armor now.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Is Dewey engaged with us, or is Dewey just sitting there?
He's just kind of hanging back. Yeah,
like-
he's squeaking and hiding. Yeah. Yeah. So and then it's the NPC's turn. So the gauntlet is going to reach forward for Abar, and and the gauntlet, it has like a special kind of situation where it grapples, like it has an advantage on grapples. So
grabs you, picks you up.
Yeah,
okay, so you have to do a saving roll.
Save?
Yeah, but
Okay, grab.
okay, so I'm sorry, I wrote it's on here, but it says that the target has a disadvantage on rolls made to escape the grapple.
Initially, do I have an escape? So that's right now I have a disadvantage.
You have a disadvantage, yeah. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
So on a strength save, like a +6. 16. Oh, okay. Ooh.
That's 9.
Plus 6.
Yeah. So 16 minus 7.
No. It's 2 rolls and whatever the lowest
Oh.
one is.
Oh.
So 16 is my first
So
roll.
that's 13.
13.
It's 13. Yeah.
Yeah, 13 is my lower of the 2.
excuse me, burp chili as I was coughing. Spicy burp. So yeah, so when the gauntlet reaches out, it actually grabs you, and it's like kind of like, it doesn't like grab around you because it's not big enough because you're a big guy, like big minotaur. So but it like puts its hand, like a palm on you, and just sticks immediately. And so like but you realize you can't really pull away from it very easily, so you're like stuck to this gauntlet. And like meanwhile, like the teeth and tongue are on this side, and it's like the eye is like frantically moving around, like trying to look at you, and the tongue is just like going wild all over the side of the armor. Yeah.
Okay. So
And then its other one has a move too.
Oh
so.
yeah, that's right.
I do have a harness, so if you're saying you want to grab onto something, grab onto my harness. But if that's
It'll make sense later. Yeah, it'll make sense later. So
Picks you up.
Yeah, so, but you can see that other pieces of the armor start to fall off as he does that. So, like, you can see, like, little, like, bolts and things that are, like, I guess, rivets that they used back then. So, like, they start to, like, kind of vibrate and fall off. And then the other suit of armor swings at Savett, because I forgot he lunged forward. So the other one, like, swings at Savett and tries to hit him. And it misses. So that swings forward towards Savett, and Savett grabs the staff and pulls it sideways and catches the axe mid-swing. And so he's just kind of sitting there struggling, trying to fight this guy. And then now it's back to Jordan's turn.
Oh shit. I'm gonna try to break the grapple.
Okay.
Disadvantage still?
Yep.
21.
21? Okay, so yeah, you're able to break the grapple, but not in the way that you think. So you can explain how you want to break the grapple?
I was gonna try to like pull the hand off using both my hands.
Okay, so as you're pulling on it, you're pulling so hard to break this grapple, and you realize that it's like a lot stronger than it looks. And so like when it forces you to kind of take a step back, and as you do so, you actually dislodge the arm from the body of armor. So the gauntlet is still stuck to you, and at this point the eye is like, it like looks kind of scared, you can see, and now it's like a little like bit frantic, and the tongue kind of comes back inside, and the teeth kind of like curl up inside, and it's just kind of like sitting there like wiggling on you as you're like still trying to pull it off. Yeah. But now the armor is armless.
And then bonus action, I want to rage. I should have done that first. I did it. Well, it doesn't matter. I want to rage. I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
Scared rage.
Okay, now it's Brandon's turn.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, what does the rage do again?
I just I get when I attack, I get +2 melee damage, and then I get advantage on strength checks and saving throws. But so then in that case, when I had the disadvantage, and if I would have raged, it would just been a straight roll.
Brought it back to neutral. Yeah.
Yes. One rage down.
Okay.
And I'll back up a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I'm gonna like, so I see that Abar's like struggling. I'm gonna take my dagger and try to stab the eye.
Okay.
Not your eye. This eye. Yeah. So I gotta find my dagger.
Back. Too far. Right up to the top. This way.
Oh gosh, I do it. +2. 20.
20. Well, it hits. So when you lunge forward, you want to explain how you like lunge for the eye, or is it just like a basic lunge, or is it just like an epic like downward thrust, or like what?
So it's like I just kind of like pull out my dagger and I go, "That's my friend," and I go, "Ah!" Just ah!
Okay, so when you pierce, you actually pierce through the armor. The eye is like the eye kind of like rotates at the last minute, so you don't actually stab the eye out, but it does go into the side of the gauntlet, and the gauntlet releases Jordan or Abar immediately, and it's just like hanging on the dagger, like kind of flailing, and you hear it like crying. It's like whimpering. It's like.
Oh God.
And there's like black goo kind of coming down your dagger now too.
Okay, so can I
As a bonus action, you wanna...
yeah, as a bonus action, I'm gonna go like.
So yeah, you can do that, sure. So it slides off the end of your dagger, hits the ground really hard. The gauntlet actually stands up kind of like this and starts to like move away, and it's like really like it keeps like falling because it's injured and just leaking goo. And as you do that, Dewey actually runs over to it and is like licking the wound. Yeah. And then I guess so it's Savett's turn now, and he's gonna roll to break this armor. Well, would you look at that? So it hits, and then d6 plus 4. 8. Okay, awesome. So he doesn't even need to do his unarmed strike. So he's holding the axe up like this, and he like kind of like spins it, pulls the axe with his bow as he's spinning it. The axe goes flying in the room behind him, and he like does a really hard downward strike and just crushes the armor, and it like crumples into itself and lands onto the ground. And he's over there, and he looks at you guys, and he's like, Savett wins! And yeah, so now both of the sets of armor are actually like immobile.
Okay.
Which means combat is no longer a thing.
Whoa.
Perfect timing.
Whoa, that was weird.
Because it like went to the climax and like silent.
He's a crescendo and it was like.
Yeah. So now that you see Dewey kind of licking, these are crumpled onto the ground, and you guys see Dewey kind of like licking the gauntlet on the ground, and it's kind of like crying and whimpering.
Savett, can you ask Dewey? Did I do something wrong?
Sure, let me ask. Squeak? And Dewey kind of just like looks back at you guys and is like squeaking, and he has like sad eyes, and he's like licking the wound on the gauntlet. And the bleeding actually stops on the gauntlet, and you can hear the gauntlet start to like purr.
What did he say to that?
He says it is his friend. He must have been here a long time if he's friends with suits of armor.
Can you tell him I'm sorry?
I want to go. I want to go pick up the armor or pick up the gauntlet. I want to like investigate it. Is the stuff still like I still like looking around on it too?
Mm-hmm. It's like squint. It looks sad. You can like it has like sadness in its eye and pain.
My rage ends. Fuck.
Can I like go over to it? Or wait, what are you doing?
I was gonna go over there and look at it. I don't know what else to do. What are you gonna do?
I was gonna heal it.
You're gonna heal it?
I don't know.
It's crying.
It's crying. They're friends. I'm gonna heal it.
Okay, you go do that.
What were you gonna do?
Look at it. I honestly didn't have anything.
Well, I want Savett to keep asking. Dewey what's good. Like, okay, so how did they know? How are they friends?
He's in here.
It's like, I don't know, I just said squeak. I don't know the details. I don't speak fluent weasel.
What? Does it help us?
I'm a monk, not a magician.
I'm gonna go with armor. Can you understand me? To the little gauntlet?
It kind of like makes like a squeaky armor noise and looks up at you, and then like just kind of quietly staring at you.
What does that mean anymore?
I want to I'll put my hand towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And like not like a palm up almost.
Like
Gesturing at it. Like, I go, oh, it's sad.
yeah. Dewey kind of like nudges it, and it kind of like gets up and just like keeps looking back at, like eye like shifts and looks at Dewey, and then it like shifts back and looks at you, and it just kind of like slowly crawls, and it like rests itself inside your palm, and then its like tongue kind of comes out and wraps around your hand, and it's purring again.
It's making weird noises. And I show it to Phil like really aggressively. Look at it.
Sorry
It's like,
there, little guy.
It like coos. It's like,
Yeah, I'm gonna just like tap, tap. I'm sorry there, little buddy.
Did you mean to hurt us?
It just makes that noise.
Dewey, what's he saying?
Like I said, Dewey just starts squeaking and like jumping up and down, like.
Then it turned to Savett. What did Dewey say? He said.
So that's like cleaning his nails. He's like,
Savett,
what?
Savett, what's he saying?
Which one?
Can you hear both of them?
Savett can hear both, yeah, but I don't know what they are saying. Is that thing purring?
Look at it. I push it towards Savett.
His eyes kind of start to widen a little bit. He's like, are you going to keep that?
Why? What do you want with it? Does it do anything?
It looks magic.
It looks magic. Can you identify it? Does it do anything?
You can use like a wisdom.
Yeah, can I
check.
see
There's
it?
like Arcana check.
Oh, that too, yeah.
What is that?
Arcana, the skill.
Like, did it in any of the schools you've been to, or
Oh, yeah.
during your travels, have you heard stories of mimics?
Ooh.
6.
6 total.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you though. So like, you remember like on your travels hearing stories of mimics and things like that. Typically, they're spoken of very negatively, like they're scary and dangerous, and they can become anything, and you never know. And usually, they consume things that they bond to and things like that. So, you remember that, but it's confusing for you because this one's not consuming you, and it's being like quiet and gentle.
Nice,
yeah.
Are you hungry, little one? I think it's hungry.
It's a mimic Abar. You might want to be a little careful with that.
I named him Shiny.
Named him Shiny. So you hear like a little bit of like a growly, like its stomach is hungry.
Abar, you might want to feed it something other than you.
I don't think I have anything.
Throws it at Dewey. Eat.
I will go. I will like pull up a coin again. Like, you want this?
And you see its eye kind of like widen a little bit.
Ooh. Do I put it in your mouth or do I put it in the gauntlet hole?
Well, its mouth is, so the base of the gauntlet here is where its mouth is. And this is kind of like its legs, basically.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so like it's like if you think of like a gauntlet, and you can see like the teeth coming out like where like the elbow would be, and the tongue kind of just comes out.
Cool.
And then like the eye is like shifting all over the place.
Cool.
But so yeah.
Drop a coin in there.
So you drop a coin and you see like the tongue kind of like lick its lips and like comes back in and like it just makes a belching sound. And now it's like purring really hard and it crawls up and it just like grabs onto like, it's like resting around your neck now.
I think you made a friend, Abar.
It's scary. Oh gosh. What's this? What?
Special gifts. You
Gluttonous Gauntlet.
can read it out loud so even the viewers can hear what it is.
Mimic Gauntlet. Weapon 1d6 bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing damage. Property. Gauntlet adheres to anything it touches. Successful hit requires a grapple. The target has a disadvantage on rolls made to escape the grapple. Drawbacks. Each use results in the user losing 2 HP to lose the gauntlet. So having it on, I take 2 HP.
Let me reread it. So yeah, so if while you're using it, so like if it's sitting on you, it doesn't, but if you're like Shiny, hold this door, and like it like requires food, so
Do I have to put it on?
you don't have to.
Oh, but that's like that's the purpose of it. Put it on. Right?
Yeah, so I mean it's one of those things where it's like you guys can kind of decide I'll tell you if you can or can't, but you're gonna have to kind of explore with it and see what its usefulness are. Yeah, what its usefulness is.
Shiny, if I put my arm in you, will you hurt me?
You just kind of like purrs a little bit.
I'll put my finger inside.
Okay. Nothing happens.
I'll put it on.
You put it on?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like purring and he's just kind of you see his eye and it's kind of shifting around.
So, like,
it feels a little wet.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And the teeth are kind of like holding on. So like so that it doesn't fall off your arm.
That's weird. Whoa. I want to touch Phil.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you just feel immediately like stuck to Abar's hand.
I'm like, Abar, can you let go, please? I can't move.
I was listening up. It was like,
Abar, please.
And then you feel a little bit of pain, and like you feel the teeth kind of like clamp down on you a little bit, and like they pierce your skin a little bit.
I lose health?
Yeah.
2 HP?
Yep.
Okay. Damage 2. Oh, jeez. There it goes.
Oh, no, you're gonna need.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you already did one of them.
Yeah.
Got it. Sweet. Cool. So is the door open then?
I mean, the door's still closed, but you could open it.
Hey, Catman, you want to see this?
He's like, yes, I do. The vet wants to see what is.
It's just that, like, Shiny lick his face. And
The tongue kind of comes out the finger and like
And while you two are doing that, the door.
Savett's just like, ugh. I've been tasted. So you're gonna go and open the door?
Yeah.
Take 5
Okay.
points.
Yeah.
Immediately gets knocked.
It explodes.
Explosion
Yeah.
damage.
All right. Well, congratulations, guys, on clearing room 3. So when you enter the next room, in front of you, you see a vast space of nothingness. It is just white. There's no shadows, no anything. It's just white as far as the eye can see in any direction you can think of. And behind you is just the door standing in place. So there's nothing behind the door, there's nothing anything. But if while the door is open, you look through it, you can see the room behind you. But if you look around the door, there's nothing.
So it doesn't look like there's a floor or anything like that.
Nope. And as soon as you guys walk into the room, you don't notice anything yet, but there is a magical effect happening, and I'll give you that much information. And on the other side of the room, sleeping, you see a giant, I'm sorry, maybe not giant, large, sorry. Gargantuan would be way too big for you guys, so I'm gonna say large creature. As you can see, it's like a double-headed. Think of like like axolotls. So it's like that pale color with like the frills kind of coming out the neck. It's like pink frills. It's very mucusy looking, but it's just kind of coiled into itself,
You know what he's talking about?
like mud
You
puppy.
know axolotls?
Hey, I'll show you a picture.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my puppy, yeah.
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 Yeah, yep, I know.
So
But it's like 2-headed.
yeah, and it's kind of coiled into itself,
But it's, yeah.
and it's sleeping. Yeah.
Okay.
And as you say that, nobody else can hear you. It sounds like that's this noise that they hear from you. You feel like you're talking normally,
Guys, can
but
you,
nobody can hear
yeah,
you.
it's like, guys, can we, like... Guys,
Savett is like,
can you hear me?
what?
But all we see is him just going.
Yeah. He's like, what? But all you guys hear is, whoop.
I'm gonna use my message.
Is that a spell or is that cantrip?
That's cantrip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna only use it. I can only use it to one person at a time.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna like just go to you and like, hey Bar. I don't think we can talk to each other anymore.
Savett's like, what?
Do I hear his message?
Yeah, you can hear the
Oh,
message.
okay. What?
Yeah, you gotta tell me. And I'm like, like I try to like.
As you guys are talking, he feels very ignored, so he's just walking towards He starts walking.
It's Savett.
He just says, "Ooh," and he turns around and he just looks at you and he's like, he keeps walking forward a little bit.
I'll keep following him too.
He just
And
keeps
like I just kind of go like.
Oh, you're halfway there.
I just put my head in my hand like, oh.
And when you guys look back, Dewey runs into the room prior.
Uh-oh. Do it.
Yeah. And Savett just is like stopped now, and he's like leaning really far forward, like trying to see this creature. He's like, "What are you?"
Okay, I'm gonna like just kind of like walk up, and then I'm just gonna go.
He, like, he looks very like calmly back at you. He's like,
You say something?
yeah. He's like,
Oh my god, my face hurts. How often can you do that message? Is it like, is it like a
Yeah,
cooldown?
and cantrips you can just do.
Mhm.
Is it like a cooldown though? Is there like a time between you can do it? Not just like you can do it once
Like
an hour.
you just like keep doing it. Yeah. Let me look. Message. 1 round. So like
Sure.
it's at will, but it's once per round.
Sure.
and then this is like a social encounter, so it's not really like a round type thing. So
Yeah.
I would say you can just use it.
I
when
can
you
just
want
use
to.
it
Yeah.
as I wish.
Yeah.
So then I'm just gonna go, like message him like, Savett.
He jumps and he's
Savett, it's me again. I like to look at him and it's so.
Yeah,
It's me.
he's like,
I-
oh.
it's me.
Mhm. So can you hear each other with this cantrip, or do you just send a message to them? I don't remember yet. Sorry.
Nope, all good. At D&D Beyond, you can also just search stuff too if you're curious.
Yeah.
You point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper,
Oh,
in a
okay.
whisper that only you can hear.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I go. Savett, what is this?
This creature?
Yes.
It looks like a big lizard.
I just like. All right.
I'll have him roll for like a. So he's like, oh, you want to know what it is called? All right, let me see.
Can I roll for investigation or perception or something like that?
I got a nat 1. He's like, I have no idea.
All right.
But yeah, you can, or what are you trying to investigate?
If it's something I've like seen before or anything, I don't know what.
You're just looking at the creature.
Yeah.
Okay, you can. What would that be? Like history, or would that be
It might be like a...
wisdom or something? I don't remember which ones. Intelligence.
What was Arcana?
That's like magic items or
magic items.
magic spells, runes, things like that.
History of magic.
Yeah.
History of magic.
Or like if you want to choose.
Okay.
Kind of, but
So what would like bestiary be?
It'd probably just be history, right?
or like survival or
Survival.
Nature.
Nature. Yeah, let's do nature.
nature check.
Yeah.
Fuck, I have a nice one, but
You have bad nature? Yeah. What the
Like,
heck?
do you want me
It's,
to
it's
do
in,
that?
we can both do it.
Oh, yeah.
Some people like you only can roll when you're proficient with it, so all those dots.
Oh.
But we can do it. I don't really care because it's funny when like he rolls like a natural 20 on like a strength check. He's not proficient with it.
Yeah.
It's funny that way. Because what if I get a natural 20? You're
Yeah.
great. Oh, 12.
Okay, well, I'm gonna roll for nature. 16.
So you guys both like, I mean, you can clearly tell like you've seen the miniature version, you know, like at like carnivals and things like that, like through like, especially like your travels through bales and things. There's tons of rare commodities, rare pets that people buy and sell and trade. So you've seen them come in and out and in and out. And you've actually passed through bales before, just through your journeys when we've talked about, because you came from Obgat all the way around. And the only way to do that in one shot is to stop at bales, make port, get food and water. So you've all been there, and you've seen through time just like people's like exotic pets, and you've seen something similar to this, but never one this size, nor something with 2 heads. So like you can tell, yeah. So you can recognize that it's just basically a massive version of this creature, but that's it.
Yeah,
that's
it's
all.
sleeping, you said?
It's sleeping.
I pushed the cat closer.
You push him closer.
I'm like, go check out what it is. I was like, go.
He kind of stumbles forwards and he turns back at you, and he's just like, okay. He takes out his
Nods his head.
he takes out his staff and he just pokes it.
It's gonna swing. I really like that.
Yeah. Wake up. No.